Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for staying awake. If you're watching, by the way, not on Friday, but already on Saturday, happy Saturday. I'm happy to spend the morning with you. But we had a beautiful town hall tonight, and tonight, meaning on Friday. So if you could not join us, please join us next time. If you did join, I'm so grateful for you, for your time, for your comments, for our time together. We planned for an hour. We stayed together for like almost 3.5. So that was fabulous. And you guys are fabulous. It was such a joy and my honor to meet you and put a face to a name or username. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate you. And stay tuned for more. And certainly that was so great. Now, if you joined the town hall or if you have not joined the town hall, I would love for you to comment your username. So we have discussed about following each other and creating community on X or Twitter as well. So if you're on YouTube or you are on Twitter or you're on both, please comment your username in the comments so I can follow you and so others who watch can follow you too. Okay, so let's make that happen throughout this live stream. I would love to follow you back. If they ban me for that, fine, but certainly I would love to follow you. So today, first, let's start with some readouts. It was a big day for President Biden. First of all, he issued a lot of readouts, a lot of statements. He also signed a document, right? And so in a very festive atmosphere, and then he traveled to Pennsylvania. We're going to figure out why did he travel to Pennsylvania, because it was not announced till the very last moment. Everybody was confused. Press pool was confused, but it was actually sweet and wholesome. And I promised you that today, this whole thing will be with a touch of Trump and MAGA, because I'm Nigana, he will talk about Cheetos a little bit, but it's Friday, Saturday, so it's going to be wholesome. We will review some videos that you're going to have fun reviewing. Okay. So first thing is today, during the 116th anniversary of the Springfield race riot, which occurred in August 14th to 16th in 1908, President Biden signed a proclamation establishing the Springfield 1908 race riot National Monument in Springfield, Illinois. The new national monument will tell the story of a horrific attack by a white mob on a Black community that was representative of the racism, intimidation, and violence that Black Americans experienced across the country. National outrage at the attack, which occurred just blocks away from President Abraham Lincoln's home, spurred action on civil rights, including the creation of the organization now known as the NAACP. By establishing the Springfield 1908 Race Riot National Monument, President Biden is recognizing the significance of these events and the broader history of Black community resilience in the face of violent oppression. And so, again, the atmosphere was very festive. Look at him. Everybody was celebrating. Everybody was also cherishing the moment and really understanding the importance of that happening now. I understand it's been 116 years, but think about January 6th. Think about Black Lives Matter. Think about Project 2025. All of that can be repeated in a heartbeat. So if we don't learn from history, and by signing this document today, well, we certainly learned about it. And so many of you have commented when I posted this readout and statement from President Biden that you perhaps lived right next door and you did not know anything about it. So in order to learn from history, we have to talk about it and we have to recognize it. And we have to put it on our calendar, right, as a date, or we have to create those monuments where we not just celebrate Confederate overachievers, but certainly understand that at that point in time, there was this done to a certain community, and it can be repeated anytime. And it is up to us not to repeat it, okay? So a bit of a polite rant today. So also there was a statement from President Biden on the Inflation Reduction Act anniversary. So he says, 2 years ago, I signed the Inflation Reduction Act, the largest climate investment in history that is lowering energy costs and creating good paying union jobs while taking on big pharma to lower prescription drug costs. With Vice President Harris casting the tie breaking vote already, this law is lowering healthcare costs for millions of families, strengthening energy security, and creating more than 330,000 clean energy jobs, according to outside groups. It has also unleashed $265 billion in clean energy and manufacturing investments from the private sector in the last 2 years, part of the nearly $900 billion invested in America since we took office. So this historic legislation is fiscally responsible. It lowers the deficit over the long run by cutting wasteful spending on special interests and making big corporations and the wealthy pay more of their fair share. And just yesterday, President Biden says that his administration announced lower prescription drug prices for the first 10 drugs that have been negotiated by Medicare, which will cut the prices of drugs used to treat blood clots, heart disease, cancer, and more by nearly 40 to 80%. So, Secretary Yellen, our Secretary of Treasury, also recorded a video where she described what a moment it is and what did happen within the last 2 years and why we need to celebrate it. So I want to invite you to listen to her. It's 2.5 minutes, but she certainly explains it really, really well as to why it matters to us. So take a look.
I'm very glad to have the opportunity to mark the 2-year anniversary of the Inflation Reduction Act, which is strengthening American manufacturing in industries key to our country's future growth and making the lives of American workers and families better today. The IRA is driving investments in innovation in manufacturing and clean energy, keeping America competitive in cutting-edge industries that will enable strong growth and greater energy security. Investments are going to people and places where potential exists, but opportunity often hasn't. The private sector has announced hundreds of billions of dollars in new clean energy investments, the vast majority of them in counties with median incomes and college graduation rates below the national averages. And Treasury has provided incentives to help make sure the jobs being created are good ones and that there are pathways to them. The IRA also brings down costs for consumers, including by providing tax credits to make home energy efficiency improvements and to purchase clean vehicles. Consumers have saved billions of dollars on home energy upgrades that will lower energy bills for years to come. And they've saved more than $1 billion in upfront costs across purchases of more than 150,000 clean vehicles that will reduce their spending on gas. The IRA is also enabling the transformation of the Internal Revenue Service, from the launch and ongoing expansion of a new program called Direct File that saves taxpayers time and money when filing their taxes, to cracking down on tax evasion so that wealthy taxpayers pay what they owe. Let me thank my colleagues at Treasury and across the Biden-Harris administration, as well as state and local governments, private sector companies, and many others who are helping drive progress. I look forward to additional milestones ahead.
Certainly, Secretary Yellen is a soft-spoken lady, but I have covered events with her as a press pool. Very soft-spoken, very petite lady, but so strong and so direct. And she can nicely, with a very soft voice and a very classy manner, she can tell you to go to hell, and you will be embracing the journey and thanking her for directions. So kudos, kudos. Now let's talk about the disturbing comment here. Kay Hive says, "Hi Olga, really disturbing news. The Supreme Court has blocked Biden's LGBTQ protections for students in some states by 5-4 vote. This court is going after gay marriage, and I'm terrified. It took me years to come out and be comfortable about who I am, and to be forced to go back in the closet is scary to me. This is scary, and this is going not just against, in my understanding, it's not just going against the, um, let's say, gay marriage or a unit, right? It goes against our understanding that we're free to do what we do, to do what we want to do, to love who we want to love with pride and live together. Plus, it does also, here, I think, touches on immigration as well, because what I have heard is that the intention behind also Project 2025 is to pretty much dismantle the marriages of same-sex marriages. And so this is immigration connected with human rights, which is just disgusting and very disturbing. I think the biggest thing we can do is certainly vote, and vote also for the Congress, so President Biden can amend the court and change it. But that's, thank you for sharing this, but this is very crazy. K Hive, I noticed that too. It's sickening and terrifying to even think LGBTQ freedoms are being threatened. And also think about it. It's not just same-sex marriages, but it's also people who are, let's say, transgender, right? Or who are, on a certain journey, right? Let's say it's very personal. And just to hear this news, you don't know what takes to trigger a person. And it's really sickening, it's disgusting, it's hurtful. I'm very, very sad and upset. It's terrible news. We have to beat Trumpism for many reasons, for protecting, indeed. And I think voting, and voting across the ballot, and voting the right people into Congress, just so this can be changed, and that Supreme Court, this specific Supreme Court, can be amended and changed. That is the key, because this is the beginning. This is the beginning. And also, even if Harris and Walz win, it will be turbulent. It will be turbulent. They are planning not to recognize the results. They're planning on lawsuits. They're planning on this BS, and connected to Congress and the majority in the House. That certainly is, it's not blocked. They just refused emergency petition to block lower court ruling. It's bad, but the fight is not over. Keith, thank you, Keith. Appreciate you. Brendan says they want to get rid of same-sex marriage. Yes, Trump has said repeatedly that the only legal marriage is man and woman. And the couch. Hello, finance sending in Bonnie. Thank you. Thank you, Bonnie. Bonnie joined our call, and Brandon did, and Keith did. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate you. And Rosie did. And Lisa, I don't know if she's here, but Lisa did too. So, and EC also joined the town hall. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay. So then after signing, after the festive signing, President Biden left the White House. He flew to Pennsylvania. Before he did that, he took a call from somebody. It's rumored that it was Netanyahu, but I'm going to let us guess, because I was not on that call, so let me not speculate. He was on the phone, and then he was leaving. And of course, the press pool was on one side, and there were several supporters on the other side. And so press pool was screaming questions, asking President Biden about the Middle East. And then he refused to answer. And he said, I actually want to go to my supporters. I want to spend time with my supporters. And so those were the supporters. You see, everybody is accredited. So I guess it was planned as well. So he spent some time with folks who see kids, and they certainly love to have his attention and to talk to him a little bit. So that was pretty cute and pretty sweet. So what President Biden did after is he flew to Pennsylvania, and he happened to go together with his grandson, Hunter Biden. grandson Hunter Biden, not son, to campus. So Hunter and his pop went to a bookstore, bought cappies. Then they went to campus and they checked out the campus, and so that's them. You see them. You see the president and then Hunter on the left with those light pants leaving the bookstore in Pennsylvania. So they were at UPenn, spent some time there, some quality time. And it was pretty hilarious how press didn't know what they were there for. It's like, what are they going to? What are they doing? What are they wearing a cappy? Did they buy it? Did they not? And I'm like, let them be. It's Friday night. Oh my God. So, on background, the president appeared to take a call on his cell. He hung up and waved at reporters. He did not take shouted questions about the ceasefire negotiations. Instead, walked to greet supporters who were roped off and standing opposite to the press by the South Lawn. I just described it too. So this afternoon, President Biden also visited University of Pennsylvania campus with his grandson, Hunter Biden. Also, I wanted to read out, I just got it really about 10 minutes ago, a quick readout from an interaction with President Biden when they arrived back at Joint Base Andrews, which was just very short time ago. He says on the ceasefire talks, and we're going to talk in detail about it. I have readouts, I have NSC statements and everything for you. But he just shared that as of an hour ago, says President Biden, it's still in play. I'm optimistic. Not, it's far from over. Just a couple more issues. I think we got a shot. Then he was asked why optimistic. He said, if I told you that, I'd give away what's going on. And then when would a ceasefire start? He said that remains to be seen. So certainly, it was announced earlier that both sides have agreed to the framework and they're talking about implementation. I'm going to share the details in the readout. But, you have different actors, you have different people with different intentions, and certainly that is a negotiation, and that's what usually happens. But he's optimistic. As of an hour ago, it's still on, it's still going. So what I wanted to share about the Harris Walz campaign, they're going on a bus tour this Sunday. They're starting in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and then going on the western side of Pennsylvania. So when I know the stops, if I get any information as to if you want to join, if you can attend any meeting, if it's a rally, if it's like an intimate gathering, who knows? I will share it right away. So throughout this weekend, I think tomorrow there will be more information on the route and everything. So I'll share it with you right away. In other news, the DNC stage is ready in Chicago. So several media personalities were invited to for a walkthrough. So everything is ready. The balloons are ready. They also created a separate stage for creators, which is done for the very first time. Also, tomorrow will be a ball and for media and gatherings and everything. So as to me, I will be covering everything in detail starting Monday. I will publish the schedule on Sunday as soon as they have published theirs. And Monday, I will cover everybody who speaks, literally, because you never know. If you may recall, Obama had this speech that later made him president in 2004. There's so many people who showed who they are and were put on the radar at the conventions. So I will be certainly covering everybody. So you are well informed whether you can follow the entire thing or not. I will be in touch with the DNC to see if I can stream and comment on it, which I doubt because it's from copyright issues. I don't want to get my social media blocked. Even if they allow, probably the platforms would have an issue with that. But certainly, I will watch everything, record like the clips, go live, explain, maybe take an hour break, do again. So you will have full coverage on those days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So also on Monday, we're meeting to watch the speech together. So it's not going to be broadcast. If you're interested to join and honor President Biden on Monday for his speech, we're also going to have a chit chat with each other and watch the speech together. Please RSVP. It will be in your email. So the RSVPs are still okay. If you haven't yet, RSVP, and I'll send you the information how to join on Monday. Let's talk about VP, right? Vice President Harris. She had a busy day. She flew to North Carolina today. It was the postponed rally in Raleigh, North Carolina. It's supposed to be a rally, but then it turned out to be a meeting with only 250 people. So certainly change of plans, of course, because of the hurricane. But then Debbie, the damn Debbie. But then it turned out to be in a more intimate meeting. So I know that, and I've heard you that many were upset. So I will follow up with the campaign to see if they, what are they planning to do, and certainly to welcome you there. So this is how VP arrived in North Carolina. Take a look. And so first, the Governor Roy Cooper spoke. And listen, you gotta watch this video. This guy has drive. Why have we never saw? I mean, I want to watch him. I want to watch him every day. He is so enthusiastic. He is so excited. Just watch him.
Folks, I have been out there on the campaign trail. I've been talking with voters. I have that 2008 feeling. We in North Carolina know what that means, because that's the last time we voted for a Democratic nominee for president, one Barack Obama. It is time for North Carolina to make history again. Vice President Harris has ignited a firestorm of excitement as we head into the final stretch of this election.
And Lisa, welcome, welcome, welcome. I just said, where's Lisa? Okay, very happy you're here. Keith, yes. So Keith is asking if I've seen anything about the 30 to 40K pro-Palestine protest descending on DNC. Yes, and it's been advertised and it's been paid advertisement. So I fear that I don't know if it's going to be the January 6th thing. Certainly not. It's different ideology, but whatever they can do to damage, whatever they can do to dim the lights and spirit, they will. And certainly, from what I see, based on advertisement, based on the professional, you always see if it's like a grassroots movement, right? Or if it's professionally done. And certainly the way it is organized and promoted, it looks like it's been paid by a big organization. Let's wait. As the more I see, the more I will share, certainly. But thank you for putting this up. I haven't gotten RSVP yet. I'll keep an eye for the email. Was that for what? Oh, for the Monday watching together? Yes, I'm going to send it on Sunday noon. Yeah, because I need the exact time for the speech, and DNC doesn't have. I haven't gotten RSVP either. Yeah, Sunday at noon. Yes. Yeah, Cooper's amazing. I love his guys. Great. The DNC. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So Sunday, I'm going to send you the time because I need the timing for his speech. So we're not just sitting there waiting. Okay. Now back to VP, or we're starting with her. So Cooper, as you saw, he said, I have the 2008 feeling. And then, well, I have a 2024 feeling. I think now is not 2008. I think it's bigger. And I've heard you. We just met at the town hall. I remember Lisa said it. Rosie said it. It's different time. It's 2024. So much time has passed. It's also the first woman that will be president. It's also Tim Walz brings completely different energy. It's different time, different ticket, different stakes, right? We didn't deal with Project 2025 in 2008. It was not that. We did not have democracy at stake here. That's what we have here. So can we please call it the energy of 2024? Just a request. So according to the VP's office, there is a crowd of 250 people. Most of them are seated behind Harris with a small crowd in front, including and see Governor Roy Cooper, and see Attorney General Stein, and former NC Congressman Butterfield. Harris says she's been to North Carolina 16 times since being vice president. So just a few quotes, and then we'll review the videos. So the first one, Vice President Harris said, new numbers this week alone show that inflation is down under 3%. Still, we know that many Americans don't yet feel that the progress is in their daily lives. Costs are still too high. Together, we will build what I call an opportunity economy. What I call an opportunity economy, a opportunity economy. So then she said, I know most businesses are creating jobs, contributing to our economy, and playing by the rules, but some are not. And that's just not right. And we need to take action when that's the case. So let's review some videos. So first, she talked about business and labor and combining that to lead the world. Sort of the notion of America being the place of opportunity, right? The world where everything is possible, why immigrants are flooding, right? And I'm one of those immigrants that saw the opportunity in the US. So she talked about restoring that power. So take a look.
As president, I will bring together labor with small businesses and major companies to invest in America, to create good jobs, achieve broad-based growth, and ensure that America continues to define the future and lead the world.
And by the way, I love this rally. She was enthusiastic, she was engaging, she was very also calm and detailed in explanation. And she explained it to us like we're school kids to understand where the pricing comes from and why is it overpriced. So she then defined the problem. Take a look.
So in the weeks to come, I will address in greater detail my plans to build an opportunity economy. And today, I will focus on one element that's on the minds of many Americans as they pay their bills at the kitchen table or walk the aisles of a grocery store. And that is lowering the cost of living. So every day across our nation, families talk about their plans for the future, their ambitions, their aspirations for themselves, for their children. And they talk about how they're going to be able to actually achieve them financially. Because look, the bills add up. Food, rent, gas, back to school clothes, prescription medication. After all that, for many families, there's not much left at the end of the month.
Indeed, I saw your comments, and also Sierra said that I could listen to her every day. Oh, me too. And by the way, today, I'm not the optical person, so I don't. When I listen to people like beauty and stuff, it's not the first thing I'm paying attention to. But how damn beautiful is she? How damn beautiful is that hair? Today was first day I started paying attention to the hair. I don't know if it changed, I don't know, but it's so beautiful. And I mean, the wind is blowing, it goes back to being beautiful. It's like, how does she do it? Anyway, but beside that, I can listen to her too. So then she talked about how are we going to lower prices for food. Take a look.
Like the cost of food. We all know that prices went up during the pandemic when the supply chains shut down and failed. But our supply chains have now improved. And prices are still too high. A loaf of bread costs 50% more today than it did before the pandemic. Ground beef is up almost 50%. Many of the big food companies are seeing their highest profits in 2 decades. And while many grocery chains pass along these savings, others still aren't. Look, I know most businesses are creating jobs, contributing to our economy, and playing by the rules. But some are not. And that's just not right. And we need to take action when that is the case.
And just I want to point your attention how disgusting this is, right? We are getting out of the pandemic. People lost their jobs. They're getting back their jobs. They're opening businesses, their hopes and dreams. And, we're dealing with a bunch of stuff. The price is overpriced. And then you hit people when they're down, right? You understand that your margins are now way higher than before the pandemic, and you would not lower your pricing. How damn you? Yikes. Okay, so then she drew a distinction between what she's planning for and what Trump is planning for. As you may recall, yesterday, Trump and his groceries and the fly on his face, or that ensemble, they appear. The schedule was to talk about the economy. He talk about himself. Anything is on the agenda will be ending up with Trump, bigly. But aside from the groceries and the fly, there was no information as to how he's going to do stuff, right? There's fear mongering. They're saying that we're a third world country, that we suck on both ends and all ends and up and down and in between. But he will lower the prices. He will do this, drill, baby, drill. But there are no exact plans as to how he wants to approach it. Now, to be fair, VP Harris today announced that she will be putting out exact steps as how she is promising us to achieve it, right? Today she announced what she wants to do, and then later on in a few days she promised to do an exact plan that we will certainly dissect and learn about, right? So, but certainly it already had a better explanation than whatever that was yesterday in Bedminster, New Jersey, next to hot groceries, meat, and other products. Okay, so let's take a look. It's a bit a longer video. I think it's about 2.5 minutes. But let's take a look as she draws distinction between her plans and the Project 2025. Take a look.
If his Project 2025 agenda is put into effect, it will add around $1,200 a year to the typical American mortgage. He's got it backward. We should be doing everything we can to make it more affordable to buy a home, not less. Finally, there's one more way I will help families deal with rising costs, and that's by letting you keep more of your hard-earned money. Under my plan, more than 100 million Americans will get a tax cut, and we will do this by restoring 2 tax cuts designed to help middle-class and working Americans: the Earned Income Tax Credit and the Child Tax Credit. Through which millions of Americans with children got to keep more of their hard-earned income. We know this works and has a direct impact on so many issues, including child poverty. We know it works. So as president, I'll not only restore that tax cut, but expand it. We will provide $6,000 in tax relief to families during the first year of a child's life. Now think what that means. Think what that means. That is a vital, vital year of critical development of a child. And the cost can really add up, especially for young parents who need to buy diapers and clothes and a car seat and so much else. And we will do this while reducing the deficit. Compare my plan with what Donald Trump intends to do. He plans to give billionaires massive tax cuts year after year. And he plans to cut corporate taxes by over $1 trillion.
And to be fair, MAGA World was saying, well, J.D. Vance said that he wants to give $5,000 to new parents. Now she said $6,000. Why didn't you like that? Why do you like this? But the point here is, I can tell you that I want to have a six-pack tomorrow, but I have a round tummy today. What does it matter that I'm telling you what I'm going to have tomorrow if I'm not doing any single thing to arrive there? Open Project 2025. They're reducing Medicare, Medicaid, any help. They're increasing tax on actual people that are working, hardworking people, middle class people, and below. And they're decreasing tax and creating exemption for rich people. So where would those $5,000 that J.D. Vance is promising you come from? Nowhere. So let's call BS when it is damn BS. Now, I'm privileged since a few days to receive Trump's emails suddenly. So they called Comrade Kamala. Kamala unveiled a government price-fixing scheme today that's more reminiscent of a third world regime than the United States. And then they compared her to Maduro. Now, wait a second, Donald. Didn't you say you want to go to Venezuela because it's more democratic than this? If you were to lose, you're going to move to Venezuela. You even invited Elon, who actually was invited to a war with Maduro. I covered it. And now you say that third world country, now Venezuela is third world country, and it has communism. It has communism because people will not be going hungry, that people will be retired with dignity, that people could be eating well, that they will have insurance and not just die on the streets. That's communism. Google communism. And also Google fascism, because if you don't know communism, but you know a lot about fascism, even if you're not aware, you're really putting step by step to put us into fascism. Fascism, Google that, it's you. So then they send another email, and by the way, again, they're citing CNN as source. CNN economist destroys Kamala communist price control, sort of case, scheme in under 3 minutes. Again, CNN. We're citing CNN as our source. Every single Trump emails is citing CNN as their source. But if we were to compare those two rallies, maybe we should take a look.
I will bring together labor with small businesses and major companies to invest in America, to create good jobs, achieve broad-based growth, and ensure that America continues to define the future and lead the world.
You called me weird. You have birds. You want to see a bird cemetery? Just go under a windmill. You see thousands of birds dead. He's weird. And now we build apartments in the truck, sir. And you would be proud to stay in those apartments. It was just a soundbite, like the Cheerios. I haven't seen Cheerios in a long time. And she called JD.
This is not funny. How did we end up here? You know, it's like Sixth Sense. Do you see dead people? It's like, are we living in the same world, or are there in like a different dimension or dementia? I don't know. Like, please. Okay, after the event, let's stay sane. After the event, Kamala Harris visited a private store. I put a picture of it, and I have a video for you. So motorcade arrived at Bayleaf Market in Raleigh. It's a small art gallery and store next to a fire station across from a gas station. VP went inside with Governor Cooper and his daughter Hillary. They said hello to the store owner Courtney Purnell and chatted to her about her business. And then VP bought pickles, barbecue sauce, and fig preserves. Take a look. I have a video for you. Not a long one, but you know, just to see how it all happened.
Hi. Nice to meet you. I've been reading about you. Have you? Oh, how special. Hi, Courtney. Governor. Hi, I'm Courtney. Very nice to meet you. Welcome to my shop. So this was my pandemic project.
And if you thought this is cute, I want to show you today a video about what Tim Walz was doing. He joined TikTok. Take a look.
Hey everybody, Tim here with Scout at the dog park along the Mississippi, doing our first entry into TikTok, or as he and I say, Tim Talk. Right, Scout?
Go follow Tim Walz on TikTok. If you are on TikTok, go and follow him on TikTok. TikTok, Tim Talk. I like it. It's cute. Okay, so from the cuteness back to the mega. Here's Trump and Cheerios. So when he was done with his whatever, he had props next to him. So meat products and coffee and I don't know. It was supposed to present groceries because he's supposed to talk about groceries, but he then was enticed to take them to his whatever he said, cottage. Take a look.
How can a family afford that? But look at this over here. What a nice job. I think I'm going to take some of them back to my cottage and have a lot of fun. Like the Cheerios. I haven't seen Cheerios in a long time. I'm going to take them back with me.
Billionaire, right? He's a billionaire. Takes Cheerios. I haven't seen them for a long time. You haven't seen your... Anyway, it's Friday and it's late. I almost said something. But talking about disgrace, Trump called our military people who sacrificed their life and freedom and everything for us suckers and losers. Today he talked about, we also reviewed how he talked about Purple Heart. Today he talked about awards, or yesterday he talked about awards, being despicable to our veterans. Take a look.
I have to say, Miriam, I watched Sheldon sitting so proud in the White House when we gave Miriam the Presidential Medal of Freedom. That's the highest award you can get as a civilian. It's the equivalent of the Congressional Medal of Honor, but civilian version. It's actually much better because everyone gets the Congressional Medal of Honor. That's soldiers. They're either in very bad shape because they've been hit so many times by bullets, or they're dead. She gets it, and she's a healthy, beautiful woman. It's very... And they're rated equal.
And just now, VFW, which is Veterans of Foreign Wars, I donate to them. They issued, the following is a message from VFW National Commander. On Thursday, former President Donald Trump spoke at an event where he made some flippant remarks about the Medal of Honor and the heroes who have received it. In the video that has circulated online that you saw in the media, the former president was recognizing Miriam Adelson in the audience, who he awarded with the Presidential Medal of Freedom during his time in office. As he described the medal as the civilian version of the Medal of Honor, he went on to opine that the Medal of Freedom was much better than the military's top award, because those awarded the latter are, in his words, either in very bad shape because they've been hit so many times by bullets, or they're dead. He continued by comparing Miriam to Medal of Honor recipients, saying she gets it and she's healthy, beautiful woman, they're rated equal. These comments not only diminish the significance of our nation's highest award for valor, but also crassly characterizes the sacrifices of those who have risked their lives above and beyond the call of duty. When a candidate to serve as our military's commander-in-chief so dismisses the valor and reverence symbolized by the Medal of Honor and those who have earned it, I must question whether they would discharge their responsibilities to our men and women in uniform with the seriousness and discernment necessary for such a powerful position. It is even more disappointing when these comments come from a man who already served in this noble office and should frankly already know better. Now, Harrison Walz's campaign also issued a statement. They said, Donald Trump knows nothing about service to anyone or anything but himself. For him to insult Medal of Honor recipients, just as he has previously attacked Gold Star families, mocked prisoners of war, and referred to those who lost their lives in service to our country as suckers and losers, should remind all Americans that we owe it to our service members, our country, and our future to make sure Donald Trump is never our nation's commander-in-chief again. It's disgusting. Let me check comments, because perhaps you have better words for this. I'm not a vet, but even I felt highly insulted. Yeah. As Army brat of real hero, this makes my blood boil. Feel you. The crazy thing is, this was an event to combat anti-Semitism, and he still went off message and fucked it up. Yeah, Jesus says. And just as an aside, my profile has not changed since 2009 except for pictures. Oh, yeah, always will be very from. Okay, got it. So that's more about profiles. I guess you guys have conversations, so I'm not going to intervene in those. But certainly, I mean, I don't think that it's worth even discussing. Just stay away. Stay the heck away. Creepy. Talking about creepy. Mays, representative, was on CNN. Take a look.
And Kamala's
Oh, you had it right. You almost got it.
I will
You
say
almost
Kamala's
did
name
it.
any way that I want to.
No,
but
you mispronounced her and you also misjudged
I
her.
just did, and I'll do it again.
mispronouncing her name.
That's a
Kamala's
refusal to
policy.
acknowledge her
And
humanity.
if I purposely mispronounced your name, that would not be appropriate.
Policies are Joe.
Then she went on Twitter and she posted that, oh, she was interrupted 10 times. This is how you shut down women. I question women. Because who you are starts with a B and ends with a H. That ain't a woman. Disgusting. It's late. I should never go live late like this because I say what I think and it's not funny. Anyway, on this note, let's talk about Russia real quick. So, connected to Russia. President Biden yesterday, and I did not report on that yesterday, so I wanted to correct myself. So yesterday, President Biden welcomed Vladimir Kara-Murza and his family to the White House to celebrate his return to America. As you remember, Vladimir is the green card holder who was in prison, unjustly imprisoned in Russia, and then returned to or was freed as part of the prisoner swap. So today his family is whole once more. So beautiful moment again that our commander-in-chief, that is, by the way, the real commander-in-chief and a real human and real gentleman, welcomed him to the White House, to the Oval Office, because as you recall, he was returned to Germany to undergo treatment. So he was not in the US until then. And you say what you want, thank you. Yes, tell them. Yeah, I am. Today, I guess that's it. This sweet welcome home. For Kara-Murza, I agree. And filtered all the listeners is a real. Yeah, you don't want to. Yeah. Anyway, okay. So Russia again, from Russia with love. Guess how old or how young you should be now to join the Russian army? 14. Ta-da. Russia lowers entry age to 14 amidst mobilization concerns. The Russians have reduced the age for joining they disguise it as voluntary Society for Assistance to the Army, Air Force, and Navy of Russia to 14 years old. Previously, admission was restricted to those 18 and older. This prepares civilians for military participation, and this change reflects the Kremlin's efforts to ready the populace for potential mobilization. Given the current setbacks in Russia's invasion of Ukraine, a new wave of mobilization by Putin could be imminent. Now, what you think? 14? 14? She pulled that shit on Abby Phillips' show. It's disgraceful. Yeah, I think it is, to your point, that mispronouncing Kamala Harris' name. They all know, and Trump certainly knows. It's just a part of a strategy that is like a stupid strategy. It's not even smart. It's not even It's not even hurtful. It's just stupid, you know. Let's talk about Middle East. So, a big day. First, there was a joint statement from United States, Egypt, and Qatar, which said over the last 48 hours in Doha, senior officials from our governments have engaged in intensive talks as mediators, aiming to conclude the agreement to ceasefire and release of hostages and detainees. These talks were serious and constructive and were conducted in a positive atmosphere. Earlier today in Doha, the United States, with support from Egypt and Qatar, presented the both parties a bridging proposal that is consistent with the principles laid out by President Biden on May 31st, 2024, and Security Council Resolution number 2735. This proposal builds on areas of agreement over the past week and bridges remaining gaps in the manner that allows for a swift implementation of the deal. Working teams all continue technical work over the coming days on the details of the implementation, including arrangements to implement the agreement's extensive humanitarian provisions, as well as specifics relating to hostages and detainees. Senior officials from our governments will reconvene in Cairo before the end of next week with the aim to conclude the deal under the terms put forward today. As the leaders of the three countries stated last week, there is no further time to waste, nor excuses from any party for further delay. It is time to release the hostages and detainees, begin the ceasefire, and implement his agreement. So I wrote a whole article. I was in the background gaggle with a senior White House official and National Security Council official who was informing us on the latest. So the framework has been agreed upon, right? That is the framework that, as you heard, President Biden has put forth in May. Now, it has several amendments. The problems, well, the implementation, they call, well, now we need to negotiate the implementation, which they say it's uncomfortable, it's not welcoming, but it's part of the deal when you negotiate with such. And then the follow-up question was, what is uncomfortable? What do you mean by that? What they mean by that is that Israel, and certainly that is what Netanyahu has a problem with, Israel will have to release prisoners, right? Those Palestinians who committed serious crime, who killed Israelis, who participated and organized the October 7th attack. They have to release them to get the hostages back, which is certainly unfair, certainly not really welcome by the government, by citizens, but they have to do so we can, or they can better, proceed by with getting hostages back. It was informed that over about 40 hostages have passed. It has to be imminent. It has to be ASAP or dealt with as soon as possible, because you can't wait any longer. They have been there for almost a year. Right? We're talking about October 7th. We're now almost at the end of August or middle of August. So then when it comes to Iran, the question was that regarding Iran, we're confident that they will hold off at least until the talks are complete. White House says we have positioned all necessary measures to defend Israel from Iran and have engaged in extensive diplomacy to make clear the consequences of any actions. The ceasefire deal and the Iran issue are separate, but we are doing everything possible to ensure neither escalates. We are prepared for any contingency. And so then President Biden issued a statement ultimately saying, earlier today, I received an update from my negotiating team on the ground in Doha and directed them to put forward the comprehensive bridging proposal presented today. So bottom line is that also what he has shared recently that I read out to you once he landed back on Joint Base Andrews, that as of an hour ago, at this point, probably 2 hours ago, the deal is still ongoing. They're still optimistic. The framework is being agreed on upon the implementation, right? How many hostages, how many prisoners, what the equation there, when are they going to be released? Also, they talk about even cleaning out debris and preparing Gaza for people to move in and actually live there. They talk about humanitarian aid, about medical aid, about possibility to live there and have water and have food and sustain themselves. So for that reason, that is what they're negotiating. So on that note, I shared today a video of Jill Biden, and I think few were confused. That is a video I referred to way earlier. So I mentioned that, you know how press pool is screaming at them and at president, vice president, first lady, second gentleman, and they react like, why? Specifically Jill Biden, she would say, stop. You can talk to me. Stop screaming at me. And I mean, she's a teacher, so for her that comes natural. And so I wanted to share a video where if you ask her good questions, how she actually reacts to a pool or press. I was covering her or being in the pool with her, press pool, not the actual pool, when she welcomed, or there was a state a visit from the First Lady and the President of Kenya. And the First Ladies went to a advanced technological center in DC, met with kids. And so that's how she reacts if you're nice to her. So take a look.
Who has the
So she winks. I asked her a question. She was replying. Certainly, very human, very nice, very personable. So I really don't understand why we have to be screaming at good people. I had a laugh today, not to be mean about it. Of course, Trump and Vance planes had to make, what was that about? Is that the Epstein plane? By the way, I will reveal more about planes. Thank you so much for somebody who sent me the information. I will be revealing that. I probably will do it before Monday. There's a whole research that somebody did, and I certainly want to quote this person, and they did so much work there, and it is connected to Trump's planes, so I will reveal that. Their planes are broke, just like their campaign, bringing all the butter. Yeah, and did you see that they also put Vance now? So Trump calls his plane Trump Force One, like Air Force One. And so Vance's plane is Trump Force 2. It's just a shit show. And now they also penciled their Vance on it. And then it broke down, and then they had to, the First Lady's suit. Yeah, I love her clothes. It's beautiful. There's like a sassy picture where she's like in very tight everything. It's interesting. Very good style altogether. Okay. So let me see what else we're talking about. If you have questions, please put them up. I'll reply to them right away. And by the way, your email is arriving tonight, later. I'll do it right away and send it to you. Okay, so I found a song. I don't know if you saw it. It's the rural community. And they recorded a song in support of Harris and Walz. And it's about the election. I'm not sure if you saw it, but I certainly will make you watch it. It's 1 minute, 24 seconds. Enjoy.
We're not going back. We're not going back. Just like a tree that's planted by the water. We're not going back. Voting for our freedoms, we're not going back. Control of our own bodies, we're not going back. Just like a tree that's planted by the water, we're not going back. Voting for our sisters, we're not going back. Voting for our brothers, we're not going back. Just like a tree that's planted by the water, we're not going back. Voting for our daughters, we're not going back. Voting for their future, we're not going back. Just like a tree that's planted by the water, we're not going back.
deleted any. Okay. Some updates, but I can't do it yet. Thank you. This was great. First of all, I want to thank you for joining the town hall, and I want to thank you for waiting because it's very late. I certainly overstayed my welcome with all of you, but I appreciate you. I appreciate every comment. Um, every time you comment on the live stream or anything I post, every like, every share. It's a community, and what we our biggest takeaway tonight was from the town hall that it's all about people. Politics is personal. Us engaging here is personal. I think let's put that into the forefront, right? That social media is actually about people, that politics is about people, that policies is about people. So let's stay personable. Let's find the community. Let's fight for each other and with each other. And let's have fun doing so. Because it's actually, we do have fun. We do have the momentum. So as we are pursuing the DNC, right, next week, let's be open minded and open hearted to it. Let's celebrate. Let's enjoy. Let's allow us to have joy. Because politics can also bring joy. And I think we are at that time where we certainly deserve to have some fun and we have a good ticket, right? So let's embrace it. Let's not focus on whatever. Let's focus on the positivity because it's very short time until we have to deliver. And certainly, let's welcome those who are fighting for us and representing our views and our values. And let's also, as we go into the weekend, I will be reporting on the bus tour on Sunday. I'm not sure how much coverage there will be, but I will see on Saturday, Sunday. If there are news tomorrow, I will put it on my Twitter and my platforms that I'm coming up live and the timing. If there are no news, I will not be wasting your time. So President Biden tomorrow is off. VP Harris is tomorrow off. Tim Walz is tomorrow off. Everybody is sort of enjoying their time before the DNC because that's going to be crazy. Sunday, all of them are off except for the bus tour. So let's see. Now, who is not off tomorrow is Trump and JD Vance. They are organizing rallies. They're organizing whatever they're doing. If it's just Trump, I'm not going to just focus on him and come up live and mess up your Saturday or Sunday. So if I have enough news, I'll let you know. And certainly Middle Eastern talks and, anything can happen. So if anything, I'll be live. If not, I'm not going to waste your time. But when you watch television tomorrow and all you see is Trump rally, Trump this, Trump that, he said this, she said that, because the Democratic ticket is relaxing before the bus tour and the DNC, just mute the noise. Just mute the noise. Because if all you hear through the weekend is this bullshit, mute it. Just mute it. Go outside, hug a tree, hug each other, eat something you love, drink something you love, do what you love. Don't hurt anybody. Don't hurt yourself either. Enjoy your time. We're going to have a lot of news next week. The DNC is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It's going to be a lot of politics. So if nothing happens this weekend, it's good. Okay? So just wanted to say. Trump is doing something Monday as usual, another Twitter chat. Oh, really? Oh, God. Oh, I have to cover it? Oh, God. Wait. I do DNC. I'm busy. Write a postcard. Yeah, indeed. Thank you. Thank you, Sierra. Johnny Cash used the refrain in a song called I Shall Not Be Moved that is similar to this song. Yes. Take a day off. Yeah, I'll prepare for what we discussed today, and I'm going to share it. So that's my plan for tomorrow. But thank you, Lisa. Thank you so much. I think this group is either a part of a Jess and of Harris. Yeah, we're talking about the song. DNC over Trump bullshit. Indeed. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to cover DNC and not the whatever. Thank you, Terry. And so nice meeting you today. So have a good night. Have a beautiful weekend. If I have something valuable to report on, I'll be there and I'll message you or put it up. If not, we see each other Monday, but certainly I'm here. If anything, comment, and please follow each other, right? If you're on YouTube, if you're on Twitter, put your username so we all follow each other, okay? Not just the stats who saw stuff. put a comment under the main video with your username so we can get together, because we learned that today is all about people. Okay. Did you send email with questions? No, I haven't yet, and I'll do that tomorrow. So that's what I'm planning to do tomorrow. Have a lovely evening, everybody. Thank you, woman. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Have a good night, everybody. Thank you so much. By the way, Substack, if you're not on Substack, please subscribe. If you're already subscribed, I appreciate you. I love you for your support. Thank you. Okay. Good night.